Starting. Starting. Starting the stream. Starting the stream. Making sure it works. And I am not over my bit rate. Going live. Starting. Let's see if this shows up. Motherfucker, it doesn't. My chat input is still not working. Very frustrating. Very frustrating indeed, Mr. Bond. This is mildly problematic. But I can test this one. Does not appear that it worked. This is troubling to me. How do the pop out? I'm only going to do this for a few moments. Let's try this. See if this does the trick so I can at least get this one working. That will fix some of my problems. Yeah, so I think this should, in theory, fix this first problem. Okay. Yes! Okay. So that one is fixed. And for some reason, the Instagram is not working. This is problematic. I wonder if... Wait, I have an idea. Oh, I can't do it. Oh. It won't let me. Okay, that's fine. I don't need it. Okay. What are we up to today? There has been a wave of Democrat victories. Yes. Make no mistake, that is a good thing. However, we must caution ourselves, friends. We must caution ourselves. Because we don't know what kind of Democrat they're going to be. Are they going to be a Democrat or a Democrat? Doesn't work. Fuck it. Let's get to it, shall we? Where is my browser? So, one of the big ones, the Democrats flip a Wisconsin Supreme Court in not just a flip, but in a landslide, people. A landslide, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And if you have not seen a landslide, trust me, you don't want to. It's fucking terrifying. No, seriously, Google like a video of landslides. They have plenty of them out here in California along the PCH and the coast. And yeah, if you're anywhere near one, let alone in the center of it, it's fucking terrifying. Unless, of course, it's a Democrat flipping a Wisconsin Supreme Court in a landslide. Then it is a sight to behold. Their first statewide flip of 2026 locks in a liberal majority through at least 2030. Wisconsin took 4 hours to call in 2024 and just 19 minutes tonight. Yeah, but in 2024, that was a presidential election with, I'm sure, way more ballots. So I'm not sure that comparison holds. So this will be a liberal majority through at least 2030. This is a very, very good thing. And as I was saying, we don't get a lot of victories in this, right? So come on, everybody. Let's get it. Give you guys a round of applause. We did it, people. Here's what's amazing is that the people have way more power than they realize. If your vote was not so important, then Republicans, would not be working so goddamn hard to gerrymander it into a non-meaningfulness. But they do. That's why they spend millions each election, billions over decades in elections to try and get you to either not vote or vote their way. And look at what happened in 2024. They got y'all persuaded to vote their way, and now you guys have higher gas prices, a foreign war, and a pedophile in the White House. So, more round of applause for you guys. However, this is good. Locking in a liberal majority through at least 2030 is a start. we do need to caution against what kind of Democrats we're getting with these votes. I'll get to that later. And also, why does she look like Michelle Bachmann and Nancy Mace had a baby? What is up with this face? Look, this is not a misogyny thing. Misogyny check. I failed. But come on, she's a weird-looking lady, you know. And trust me, I've ridiculed Newsom, I've ridiculed Pritzker, I've ridiculed Walz. I'll ridicule anybody on their appearance because it's low-hanging fruit. It's easy. Also, I have to make myself feel better for looking like this. So, yeah, anyways, just a thought. She looks like Michelle Bachmann and Nancy Mace fucked and had IVF. Anyways, this is a good thing. We should take heart in this. We don't get a lot of good news. So, let's take some breather here and look at what else is winning and what else happened. So, Chris Taylor won Ozaukee County, the most Dem trending of the World of Warcraft counties. World of Warcraft has fallen. Obama lost it by 22 points when he was winning Wisconsin overall by a landslide. Harris lost it by 10. This does not say counties adjacent to Milwaukee, Ozaukee. I don't know which one is Ozaukee. It doesn't say how much she won it by, but the fact that Obama lost it by 22 points and she managed to come back by that much, and then Harris lost it by 10, so she at least won by, what, 10, 11 points? That's pretty big. Precincts outside of Wisconsin Rapids, Wood County, are shifting 27 points towards Democrats right now. Look at this. So Harris, that's the name of the, I'm sorry, Kamala Harris, because what's the lady's name? Chris Taylor? Chris Taylor. The giant letters in bold with her name. That's it. So Harris lost this county by, what is that, almost 20, let's see, 30, 47, 57, yeah, basically like 25% difference. And now this lady won it by 5. So she had to overcome like a 30% swing. Right? That's insane. I mean, I guess if you're going strictly, no, it's not that much. 37, 47, 57. Well, the split, I guess if you're going by the split, it's almost 30 points. But if you're just going by how much they won by, as opposed to overcame, they won by 5 points. That's still big, considering how much Trump won it by 62%, and they won it by 52 and lost it by 47. These are big, big numbers and a big change. So let's see what our boy,
Holy Toledo,
Steve Kornacki.
Holy smokes. Holy cow, what are we talking about here? I mean, look at these shifts. Okay, and I want to put this into historical perspective for you. Dems liberal exceeding the previous presidential vote. So in 2025, 2026 cycle, we're talking about exceeding Kamala Harris. Look at this. We're talking about exceeding Kamala Harris, the liberal candidate did, by 21 points. 21 points, and this is part of a pattern.
Okay, so yeah, he's saying he's noticing the same stuff. 25 to 26 cycle, Virginia governor, Wisconsin Supreme Court. Wow, so they increased their vote share by 9 points, 6 points, and 7 points.
And right in Virginia governor, we saw the Democrat there exceeding Kamala Harris by 10, New Jersey governor by 8, and this is even better than what Democrats had back in the 2017-2018 cycles, where they were exceeding Hillary Clinton's baseline, but by 12, 4, and less than a point. So this time around, oh my goodness gracious, holy cow, holy smokes, holy Toledo. And of course, remember, Democrats took the House in 2018, and I will note that Wisconsin Supreme Court performance last night by Chris Taylor was the best for a liberal candidate in an open seat in at least 30 years.
So this was the race that we saw last night in Wisconsin, a Wisconsin Supreme Court seat, a 9-point swing there. What about Georgia in perspective? That was a special election for Marjorie Taylor Greene's House seat. Put that in perspective.
Yeah, so on top of this win, there's a big overperformance in Georgia. Look, it's not a win in Georgia, but this is still big news in deep red, cousin-fucking, unwashed Georgia. This is big.
You think a 21-point overperformance versus the Kamala Harris baseline is impressive. That ain't got nothing on what happened in Georgia. Look at this. Okay, again, putting this in perspective, 2025, 2026, U.S. House special elections. How much did the Democrats outrun Kamala Harris's baseline from 2024? Look at this. In Georgia, 25 percentage points. My goodness gracious, that beat all the other Dem overperformances, and they've overperformed in all of them. So we're even getting higher than the highest of heights. We're talking 13 in Tennessee, 7, 17 in Arizona, 7, 17 in Virginia, 11, 16 in Florida, 6, 23 in Florida, 1, and all of a sudden we're talking 25 points. The biggest Dem overperformance in a special congressional election since 2017 when Doug Jones won that Alabama special.
There's still things to point out here. Is like, one, you're dealing with the huge unpopularity of Trump and the pedophile Republicans. And two, back in 2024, you were dealing with the incredibly unpopular Kamala Harris, who was supporting a genocide, refusing to take on the billionaires, and who was just historically uncharismatic. She was not J.D. Vance levels of uncharismatic, but boy, was she the Kamala Harris's charisma walked so that J.D. Vance's charisma could crawl. That's how bad Kamala Harris's charisma was.
Senate election.
Yeah, and I got to say, some of the county data in Georgia and Wisconsin that we saw overnight, even better for Democrats in some key places they're looking for here. Harry, we've talked about this before. I don't like to recycle old things, as you know. I like new, but this is super important. What do special elections, what do they tell us about outcomes in midterms?
Yeah, I've used this slide before, but I'm going to recycle it because I'm going to give it extra special energy this morning to make it brand new for you. Brand new slide. Okay, special elections and midterm results. When a party outperforms in special elections, why are we looking at these specials? It's because 5 out of 5 times since the 2005-2006 cycle, that party went on to win the U.S. House of Representatives. And Mr. Berman, I will note the Kalshi prediction markets really are taking these results and saying, oh my goodness gracious, because look at this. Chance Democrats win in 2026, both the House and Senate. On January 1, it was 29%, up like a rocket now, 51% that Democrats don't just win the House, but win the Senate as well.
Yeah, that's the both thing right there. Having a more than 50% chance to include the Senate also would be big for Democrats. Harry Etten, thank you very much for that.
Holy smokes, folks.
That's big. So, I mean, all the historical precedent is there that the Democrats take the House this time around. The thing that people forget is that Republicans cheat. They can't win fairly. They don't play by the rules, which is why Democrats always get completely cucked by them when it comes to propaganda. However, Republicans cheat all the time. Just last week, another Republican was arrested for voter fraud, voting for, you guessed it, Trump. So, we'll come back to that later as well. Ozaukee County, greater than 95% reported. Democrats flip a historically red suburb. Romney won it by 29. Trump won it by 11. Schimmel on 25 won it by 3. Taylor won it by 5. So historically, so 2012 to 26, that is a 34-point swing towards the Democrats. And again, this is a historically red suburb. You can see it seems to have been getting progressively more purple, but the fact that they voted red this long, yes, that makes it a historically red suburb. And there's even more. But wait, there's more! In Menominee Falls, all 3 Moms for Liberty backed candidates lost in school board elections. Fuck you, bitches! Trans lives matter. So Joel Wappert, definitely. Menominee Falls School District School Board member at large. So he lost. Fuck you, you're a pedophile. Nicole Barker, Menominee Falls School District School Board member at large. Fuck you, pedophile supporter. Jefferson E. Davis. Wow, that is all right. That man was born from the Confederacy and took a DeLorean to 2026. Menominee Falls School District School Board member at large. Pedophile, you lose. School Board member, Menominee Falls School District. Contest votes. So these are the 3 candidates. Oh, and they came in last. 23 of 23 units reported. 48 write-in votes. Wow. This is for a school district, and there's, what, 45? Let's just say 5,000, 4,000, 9,000, plus another 5,000. So 14,000, 19,000, 24,000. 24,000. There's like 29,000 votes for a school district. Wow. That's something. It's a lot of votes for a school district, but it goes to show how far Republicans, and especially the pedophile supporters at Moms for Liberty, will go to gain power. Republicans recognize that power is power, regardless of where it is. Even if it's at a fucking local school district, even if it's a fucking dog catcher, they will run for it because they understand that is where power is. Now, too many leftists want to be all, oh, politics don't matter. Oh, the people in charge never do anything. Yeah, because you aren't running, motherfucker. You guys aren't the ones running. Imagine if we had an entire city council full of leftists that want housing for all and Medicare for all and to bust up big corporations. You would see shit get done. That's why on the right, shit is always getting done that they want, which in turn breaks the government and breaks everything in favor of the corporations. They understand that. They understand that you can protest outside of City Hall as much as you fucking want, but it doesn't mean a goddamn thing as long as the people in City Hall are getting bankrolled by corporations and super PACs. It does not matter because they can continue to do unpopular shit, and then eventually it all goes away. And even if they get voted out, those corporations will back a new candidate to take them on and get even more radical. The right understands this, and the left needs to catch the fuck up when it comes to this. Massive Latino swing left in Wisconsin tonight. In the last year, this has happened in New York City, New Jersey, Virginia, Miami, Texas, California. These have all been massive wins in traditionally red places, especially if I remember right, the mayor of Miami. That is a big one. That hasn't happened since like the 2000, I think it was. Heavily Hispanic areas on Milwaukee's south side are shifting sharply toward Democrats with a 56-point swing in one Lincoln Village precinct. Taylor's getting 91% compared to Harris's 64%. Milwaukee County overall is running 11 points more Democratic versus 2024. And it goes to show that the Democrats completely fucked up everything with the Hispanic community. You saw it first starting to happen with Obama when the Hispanic community got really upset because he kept deporting people, and the right used that as a wedge, saying, oh, they're only deporting criminals. And then the actual sane people on the left were saying, no, these people are working. Yes, you should deport criminals, but that should be through the criminal justice system, not through a mass Gestapo organization like ICE. So the Democrats have lost Hispanics by too much, and they've taken them for granted for too fucking long. All you have to do is be in favor of amnesty for all. There are too many fucking people living in the shadows. There are too many people living under prejudice. We need to have a 1964 Civil Rights Act for Hispanics after we've seen what ICE has done, and we need to prosecute every single ICE person who has ever fucking worked for ICE. I don't care if they were a goddamn evidence inspector. You worked for ICE, you were the Gestapo, you should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. That's what we need for Hispanics. We need to have Medicare for them. We need to make sure that we have, again, amnesty. But what did we see with Kamala Harris? She tacked to the right on the border security bill that was funded by the very same pedophiles and terrorists that run the CBP and ICE. You get absolutely nothing by tacking to the right, and we saw this with Kamala Harris's popularity. She was up before the DNC, before she threw everything, before she basically burned the house down because she wouldn't say Gaza was a genocide, and then she totally shunned Palestinian people. Prior to that, she was on a huge fundraising boom. She was on a huge popularity swing. There was actually hope within the party that we could win this, that we could get rid of doddering old Joe Biden, and Kamala could take this win. But instead, she listened to her billionaire brother-in-law and dope-ass Twitter morons like Matt Iglesias, who apparently had the ear of her whole campaign, and she let Biden's own team undermine her every step of the way and try to take control behind the scenes. You get nothing by tacking to the center, by tacking to the right. What you do get is by supporting the people that support you and by giving policies to people who do not, and then hammering that home every minute of every day. That is what Zoran Mamdani did so fucking well. We'll come back to that as well. I really hope I remember to come back to all these things. Whoo boy. These swings are ungodly, even in the context of the normal Dem advantage in special elections. Okay. So this is the Georgia 14th district. Compare the votes cast for Donald J. Trump versus Kamala Harris in 2024. Only areas that have reported almost all of their votes are shown. So, Floyd County, Walker County, Polk County, Chattooga, and Dade County. All these are a part of Georgia's 14th congressional district. Right? It is Congress, isn't it? I'm pretty sure this was Marjorie Taylor Greene's old district. So, Fuller was plus 12. Fuller was plus 35, plus 39, plus 40, plus 38. So they overcame this county by 30 points to win this county. Almost pulled this county, missed it by 10 points. Missed this one by about 15, but still massive swing. Swing back 25 points to close the gap to 15. Close the gap here by 9. There is work to be done here, but it can be done, and it's going to start with Democrats going into these areas and reminding everyone that Trump is a pedophile, that he's cutting your Medicaid, and that he wants to ship your sons and daughters off to a war to hide from the Epstein files. And if you vote for us, we'll give you a higher minimum wage, we'll give you a Medicare for all, and we'll absolutely subsidize housing so that you can afford one for a change. That's the election. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Trump won this district by plus 37 in 2024. This race to replace MTG is not a repeat so far. Right. So this is a gap of what? 9 points? 7 points. I suck at math. 7 points. This is a winnable district. I'm not saying that you should look at maybe dumping millions of dollars into this district when there are other districts that you can win. However, this is no longer out of reach. And it's going to continue to stay within reach within the next 2 years because Trump is going to continue to be stupidly unpopular and do incredibly dumb shit. And we'll learn more and more about how he's a pedophile. So there is work to be done here, and it can be won. Democrats overperformed in the Georgia special election. Republican Clayton Fulter beat Democrat Sean Harris 56-44. Marjorie Taylor Greene won the same district by nearly 30 points in 2024. So from 30 points, he won it by, I guess it's 44, by 12 points. So that was an 18-point swing. And Trump carried it in 24 by nearly 40 points. That's even more impressive. This is a huge, huge fucking swing. The Georgia 14 result represents the largest net shift to Democrats, 25 points in a House seating special election during Trump's second term so far. So these are the dates. These are the districts. Florida won, 24, 2020. Okay, so these are the results. Yeah, so you're seeing these advantages get cut in half, right? And these margins being exceeded. So look, even if they're up 15, 14, maybe not the best place to invest time. You want to do long-term goals here and keep chipping away at it. But potentially, yeah, you don't want to dump a shitload of money. It's not a bad idea to invest a little bit of money in a candidate that's running there. But you do want to focus on other places like this. Plus 9, very, very winnable. Plus 12, not out of reach. It's not unlikely to get that. And then these ones, of course, like, these ones you can more or less take off the table. This is going to be one, and you need to make sure you have good candidates that can fundraise on their own and that can take the message to the people. But you don't need to. This is money you can save, right? When it comes to where you're going to spend your money on races. There have been approximately 40 D versus R special elections for Congress since Trump first came into office in 2017. 5 of the 10 biggest Democratic overperformances have come in 2025 and 2026. Tuesdays in Georgia 14 was the biggest. Hang on. I have a feeling that the chat... Let me see. I just want to see if... Okay, good. So nothing. I'm going to take a quick pause because I'm still figuring out this stuff. That's the bottom one. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Again, I know this is super stupid if you are just tuning in, but I am still learning, and sadly, sometimes you have to learn on the fly. Okay, good. All right, I'm not crazy. Okay, good. Good. Excellent. Back to it. Here we go. 25 and 26. Tuesday in Georgia's 14 was the biggest. So, overperformed by 25 points, 23 points, 21, 20, 19, 19, 17, 16, 16. Even the smallest, at least based on this chart, is an overperformance by 10. These are all in 18, 19, 25. So yeah, the margins have increased. And some of these got won. You know, some of them got. And they are now in the hands of Democrats. Massive Democratic overperformance in GA14. 4 fully reported counties are showing huge swings from 2024. Polk, D plus 22. Walker, D plus 24. Chattooga, D plus 25. Dade, D plus 29. That's insane in a state as red as Georgia. And we see why it's becoming apparent that the Democrats are starting to win so much of these and pulling so far ahead. I mean, even in Texas, word's getting out. That's right. Somehow, people in Texas are learning that the people that have had a supermajority of their state for so long are fucking bullshit con artists that are enriching themselves and screwing over their voters. So this is the Democratic primary voters' views of Tallarico, Bernie, Jasmine Crockett, Kamala. And I love this. I love that Tallarico and Crockett, even though they had a primary, they're still both held in very high regards. Kamala, whatever. AOC, Mamdani, Buttigieg, Newsom, Jeffries, J.B. Pritzker. Oh, sorry, I just shit myself a little. DSA, okay, that's interesting. Wouldn't expect Texas to know what DSA is. That's very interesting. Josh Shapiro. Anyone having a positive opinion of Josh Shapiro is sus. They're just sus. Ro Khanna, cool. Chris Van Hollen, my boy. Chuck Schumer. No comment. AIPAC is minus 33. Netanyahu is minus 61. So look at this. Jeffries and Schumer, who support AIPAC and Netanyahu to the fucking hilt, are in the bottom rankings. Jeffries somehow is in the middle. Schumer is dead fucking last in this poll. And that's in Texas. DSA being at plus 33 and AIPAC being at minus 33 among Democrats in Texas is downright poetic. I agree. And again, why are Democrats supporting an organization that is minus 33? Better yet, why is an organization that is minus 33? Why is it minus 33? We'll get to that in a second as well. I hope I don't forget. Biggest overperformance in a House special in 18 years. This is in Mississippi. Mississippi's first congressional district. The popular vote. So the Democratic Travis Childers beat Greg Davis by a margin of roughly 6.5%. This is big. Oh wait, do I have this backwards? Oh, this is Democratic, Republican. Why does it show that? Oh, this is for a different election. Okay, got it. Got it. So this is for Mississippi. So yeah, he did win, looks like. This was in 2008. So how much is the swing by, did it say? I'm stupid. House special in 18 years. It doesn't really qualify since, I mean, the Democrat won this one and the Democrat lost this one. But this doesn't take away from the massive W that is those margins of victory. So Republicans are freaking out about the fundraising because fundraising is a huge part of politics and getting elected. Democratic candidates have begun to flaunt first quarter donation numbers, and early indications point to a party starting to shake off its post-2024 fundraising stupor. Whew, that's right. They're waking up. They're waking up. They got this. Rocky got the smelling salts. He's where's Adrian? I gotta get out there, man. I gotta get out there. And they're finally ready to fight again. I spoke to one Republican operative who was exceptionally worried that Democrats were kicking into high gear. Joanna Mendoza, this person noted, raised $2.3 million in a race against Arizona Republican Juan Ciscomani, while Christina Bohannon raised $2 million in her showdown with Iowa Republican Rep. Marionette Miller Meeks. The incumbents haven't released their numbers yet. Dems have unleashed the beast, the Republican told me. Some Republicans have as well, but Dem donors are opening their wallets, and it shows across the board. So this is good. There are cause for concerns because we need to make sure that this money is coming from people who actually want a people's policy, not someone who wants a corporate centrist Democrat in office. Because if this 2.3 is all coming from Facebook, Meta, Tesla, if all of it is coming from them, that is problematic. That is not good. The only way to fight back is for blue states to do the same. hold on. This is the bill that, if I remember, yeah, there's a bill advancing the floor legislature titled Ideologies Inconsistent with American Principles, which allows the state to compile a domestic terrorism list, which is really an excuse to criminalize orgs of opposing political views. This bill was signed into law this morning by DeSantis. The only way to fight back is for blue states to do the same to conservative and Christian evangelical and right-wing organizations put, for example, TPUSA on an extremist list to begin with. This is the only language that lawless Republicans understand. Fight fire with fire. He is 100% correct. There is no amount of capitulation. There is no amount of negotiation. There is no amount of appeasement that will get the Republicans to turn back the tide on bills like this unless you hit them back. Yeah, Adrian, I gotta get back in the ring. Which way is Apollo? Bam! Oh, I got him. Bam! Oh, he got me again. Bam! I got him. He's down. Yo, Adrian, I did it! That is honestly what we need right now. If you're not willing to fight back as hard as they are fighting us, then you need to get out. The Democrats have spent more energy and time and money fighting the left than they ever have fighting Republicans. Hi, Rufus. What you doing? I know you want to go for a WAOK. Do you want to go for a WAOK? Do you want to go for a WAOK? He's not happy. We're going to go for a WAOK after this, buddy. But yeah, California could do this right fucking now. TPUSA could be banned from the state. They could... again, put them on a right-wing terrorist organization list. They could work towards taxing these Christian and conservative evangelical organizations that are nothing but a pedophile ring. There is stuff that can be done, but we unfortunately have Newsom. And we're most likely going to get a sex pest like Eric Swalwell or a right-wing nutjob billionaire pretending to be a working man in Tom Steyer. So California is basically fucked right now. And why do Republicans continue to act like they're not having to work for anything? Well, because of stuff like this. Delta reports $15.9 billion in revenue for the first 3 months of 2026. The airline expects $1 billion in profits for the quarter, 10% higher than last year despite soaring gas prices. Delta also raised fees yesterday to $45 for one check bag and $55 for a second. On an earnings call, Delta CEO said they're expanding premium seating to take up 50% of the space on international flights. He said the high-end economy is doing well, and we serve the top end of that economy. The richest 10% now conduct half of all consumer spending. Again, this is not shit that you, MAGA, get to enjoy. You guys aren't flying these premium seats. Some of you are. But you're not the ones also that are losing your Medicaid. You're not the ones that are losing your food stamps. You're not the ones having your rural hospital closed and have to drive 200 miles for someone to give birth or to go to an ER. However, the people that are enjoying this don't give a fuck about you. You can hate me all you want for telling you the facts, but I promise you, you don't hate me as much as the people that you vote for hate you. I went like Captain Jack Sparrow on that. You may hate me, lass, but I'll tell you this. They don't hate you as much as you hate them, and they hate you more than they hate me, and I hate them less than they hate you. Whoa. Whoa. Where the fuck my child support? Oh, I see. I got a troll coming in. That's stupid. Also, more of this. First, the city council in this Missouri city approved a $6 billion data center despite massive pushback. Then, during yesterday's election in Festus, Missouri, residents overwhelmingly voted to kick out the incumbents who voted for the project. Yes! Oh, god damn, I love democracy. I am so... Oh my god, I have been flaccid all day. I have been softer than a fucking piece of wet paper. And now reading this, I have absolute testosterone and American-fueled blood rushing and filling every nook and cranny of my dick. God, I love reading headlines like this. First, the city council in this Missouri city approved a $6 billion data center. Fuck you, despite massive pushback. Then, during yesterday's election in Festus, Missouri, yes! Residents overwhelmingly voted to kick out the incumbents. Yes! Who voted for the project? I just came. This is crucial because these are all things, what I'm getting to with this is stuff like this, stuff like this, stuff like this. This is all stuff you can run on. This is populism. This is populism comes from the word popular. Because if you run on this, on fighting back against the greed of the billionaires, the criminality of them wanting to take over half a fucking plane, and wanting to charge us more money because you know they don't charge this to the billionaires. If you run on that, people will support you. And again, stuff like this. Trump ousted Kristi Noem, but is keeping her $70 million DHS jet, raising questions over its luxury features and use of funds. Why are the Democrats not harping on stuff like this every single day? Why are we not talking about Kash Patel using his using FBI planes so that he can fly his girlfriend to her fucking ballet recital? Meanwhile, terrorist events and mass shootings are unfolding, and then we can't get the teams we need out there to investigate it. Why is that not an issue? Why is Pete Hegseth spending $30,000 for a makeup studio in his own office at the Pentagon being talked about? These are things you can run on people.
That. Is it a big deadline that President Trump has set, 8 p.m., has threatened to destroy a civilization? How does an investor process that? Is it a bigger upside risk or downside risk? This deadline that President Trump.
So the end of the world is coming. How do you make money from that? This is late-stage capitalism. This is where we're at. We are in the fallout scenario where capitalists are now trying to decide, is it more popular or more profitable for them to wait for someone to drop a bomb, or should the capitalists drop the bomb themselves and then force everyone to buy their product? America! That's where we are right now. So this is just self-enrichment here. This is the chart they will show in documentaries. A 94% crash, 4.3 billion in losses, 0 arrests, and a dinner invitation. Look at that chart. Look at it. Look at that chart. It's down, 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 down. That took a lot out of me. Look at that chart. $48 to $2.81. That's the stock price. A 94% collapse. That is not a bear market. That is a liquidation event disguised as a political movement. The Trump token launched January 17, 2025. 3 days later, he was sworn into office. Within weeks, 810,000 wallets had lost a combined $2 billion. By 2026, total retail losses crossed $4.3 billion across nearly 2 million wallets. For every $1 insiders earned, retail investors lost 20. And that is where it matters, friends. It matters what the insiders are earning, because they know this is all fake. They know that this is all insider trading. However, the dopes and goons and morons in the MAGA movement don't, and they bought into this. Some people invested their life savings. Some MAGA morons invested their life savings in this coin, this token, whatever in the hell it is, and they have absolutely nothing to show for it except a bankruptcy deal. The Trump family and affiliated entities collected over $600 million through fees and token sales. Trading fees alone generated $100 million in the first 19 days. Exchanges banked another $172 million, and 94% of the token supply sat in just 40 wallets from the start. Look at that. 94% of the token supply sat in just 40 wallets. So this was clearly insider trading. 94%. And it was 40 wallets, so it's probably Don Jr., Melania, Donald Trump's second wallet, Donald Trump Jr.'s unsecured phone, Donald Trump Jr.'s unsecured phone for his mistress, Ivanka's phone for her boy toy, Jared Kushner's phone with his alarm so he can wake up from his crypt. That's what is happening here. This is all insider trading. This was a meme coin where the creator became the president of the United States, then dismantled the SEC's entire crypto enforcement division, closed every active investigation, paused every pending case, and then hosted an exclusive gala dinner for the biggest holders at his golf club while protesters outside shouted shame. 43% of the guests at that dinner were underwater on their investment. Now, there is a second gala planned for April 25th in Mar-a-Lago. The token hit an all-time low of 273 the day they announced it, and there is still 2.7 billion in insider tokens locked until 2028. That is not a vesting schedule. That is a countdown to the next wave of selling pressure. Meanwhile, the Melania token is down 99%. No regulator involved or intervened. No enforcement action was filed. The one agency that could have had its crypto division gutted by the very administration that launched the token, a bill was proposed to ban officials from issuing meme coins. It went nowhere. In any other context, this would be called a pump and dump with presidential immunity. Instead, it got a fucking dinner invitation. And that is 100% correct. That is 100% what is happening here. And yet, we are not getting any justice. Well, it's actually the MAGA morons that aren't getting any justice because they're the ones getting completely and totally conned. And what do you do if, these people are getting conned and they just keep letting it happen? Hang on one second. We can't do this for them. But at some point, all the losses are going to add up and they're just going to have to realize what the fuck is going on, which they probably won't. But we need to make sure that anyone who is getting screwed over by this, that are liberals, which is probably no one, needs to be held accountable. Okay, I need to focus here. That's annoying. Let me see. Okay, bear with me for a second, because I think TikTok is not working. Yeah, my TikTok live stream isn't working. That's what's going on. That's annoying. Oh, I didn't update the damn stream key. That's why. Holy shit, I'm stupid. Okay. I knew there was something I forgot to do. There's a lot of shit to do with this stuff. I know it looks like it's all fun and games, and I'm having an absolute blast. But, yeah, this has got some challenges. I don't even know if that did it. So I think I have to stop it. Let's stop it and go again. All right, either that'll work or it won't. So, Iran wanted to remind folks, especially the GOP and the FDD, that Barack Obama's just wanted to remind folks, especially the GOP and the FDD, that Barack Obama's 2015 nuclear deal didn't give Iran control of the Strait of Hormuz or allow it to keep 60% enriched uranium. It sent $1.7 billion to Iran versus the tens of billions Iran will now make from tolls. This is fucking insane what is happening right now. Absolute insanity and craziness. That this is where we are. We had a perfectly good deal with the JCPOA, and Trump ripped it up for no other reason than it had Obama's signature on it. And now, look at what's happening. This is what's happening. Israel is bombing. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. That's some 9/11 looking shit right there. Fucking hell. And you know that all the people standing here could have easily been got at any second. This is crazy. This is crazy. And this is why you saw that Chuck Schumer is lowest in popularity in that poll. What do you want, Rufus? Is there a squirrel? I don't see a squirrel. He ain't happy with me. Israel bombed the Rafi Nia synagogue in Tehran. Yes, you read that right. Israel bombed a synagogue in Iran. Most Americans probably didn't know that there are 100 synagogues in Iran, 30 of which are in Tehran. Wow. I was told that Iran was an anti-Semitic society. That's so crazy. I was told that Hassan Piker was an anti-Semite, and yet Israel bombed a synagogue. Wow, it almost seems like the people in actual power are the ones that are the anti-fucking Semites. Israel bombed a synagogue. You're not going to hear about this shit from the ADL, from Jonathan Greenblatt, from Hakeem Jeffries, from Chuck Schumer. You're not going to hear this from any of these people that have pissed and moaned so much about anti-Semitism being a problem. You won't hear about this from them. The president's threat. Now, this is interesting. So Lisa Murkowski came out and was very unhappy with Trump's threat to use nukes against Iran. The president's threat that a whole civilization will die tonight cannot be excused away as an attempt to gain leverage in negotiations with Iran. This type of rhetoric is an affront to the ideals our nation has sought to uphold and promote around the world for nearly 250 years. It undermines our long-standing role as a global beacon of freedom and directly endangers Americans both abroad and at home. The oppressive, terror-spreading regime of the Islamic Republic must be distinguished from the people and the civilization of Iran. Everyone involved, especially the president and Iran's leaders, must de-escalate their unprecedented saber-rattling before it is too late. So with this, this is good to have actual Republicans turn on Trump. We need to be clear about what's happening, though. Lisa Murkowski would not give a single solitary fuck about this if it were not for her getting a serious challenge in the general election by Mary Peltola? Peltola, that's her name. Because this tweet would not exist. The only reason this tweet exists is because of politics, is because she has to give a statement if she has any hope of winning this election, or at least being competitive in the election. That is the only reason. There is no other purpose, which is both good and bad. It's good that we have someone against Trump. That is a Republican. That is a swing vote. However, it shows the unbelievable, cynical horsefuckery involved with people like Lisa Murkowski and with the political system in general, that she would not be setting this out if she did not have a serious challenge in her Senate campaign. So this morning I asked, now this is where so much of the problem comes from, is Jonathan Karl, I believe, is for the New York war crimes, I think. This morning I asked President Trump if he's okay with the Iranians charging a toll for all ships that go through the Strait of Hormuz. He told me there may be a joint U.S.-Iran venture to charge tolls. We're thinking of doing it as a joint venture. It's a way of securing it, also securing it from lots of other people. It's a beautiful thing. This is an absolute disgrace. This is not journalism. This is stenography. The people who fought and died for the First Amendment throughout the history of our country are rolling over in their fucking graves and are about to come up from their graves like a Walking Dead apocalypse to get only Jonathan Karl. This is insane. There is nothing in here detailing that Trump frequently lies, that he has frequently said there has been a joint U.S. venture, or there has been infrastructure week, or there has been a deal. All of it to turn out to be total fucking horseshit. This is not journalism. This is stenography, and this is how we get in the dangerous situation that we are currently in because of corporate media. I promise you, you do not hate the corporate media, especially the New York war crimes, enough. This, in its own way, is as delusional and disastrous as his pledge to wipe out their civilization just yesterday. Okay, fine. That's not the... I mean, that's a take, but that's not the overall take that needs to happen here. So again, look at what the Democrats are supporting. Look at what the establishment, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, look at what they're supporting. 52% say the conflict between Israel and Hamas is important to them personally. And 84% view Israel unfavorably. Even the people that said, I don't give a fuck about Israel and Hamas, but I hate Israel. That is insane. Democrats age 50 plus. 57% say the conflict matters to them personally, and 76% view Israel unfavorably. This is such a massive, viewing Israel unfavorably, so what? That's 16% with probably a couple undecided, so maybe even like 15 or less. Same thing here. This truly is about as 80-20 as you can get, and yet we have the Democrats doubling down on their support for the pedophile war crime state of Israel rather than wanting to fund health care and food and shelter for Americans at home. This is what I'm talking about when I say we cannot afford to elect Democrats that are going to do nothing. All these races, this is all good. However, if we're just going to get another wave of Chuck Schumers and Hakeem Jeffries, it does nothing for us because they're going to continue the status quo where the rich get richer and we get nothing. 23 people could stop this genocidal war criminal. That's it, 23. 20 Republican senators and 3 Republican reps in the House, and he'd be out of politics forever. But they won't. They're addicted to power, a drug so strong they'd rather see a civilization die than give it up. Firmly agree here. This is the trappings of power, and yeah, they would rather burn it all down than give us any fucking crumbs. So Iran has been kind of a propaganda tear lately. Oh man, they're really ripping it here. This is just funny.
Beyond that.
I mean, these people have absolutely no...
I love working for President Trump. It's the greatest honor of a lifetime. And if President Trump chooses to keep me as acting, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate me, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and I go back to being the DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say thank you very much. I love you, sir. So I don't have any.
I love you, sir. Good God. Oh, man, you know he had to get serious makeup and a shower before going online or onto this interview to wipe off all the fucking brown shit from being up Trump's ass. Wow. Listen to this.
Else and asks me to go do something else, I will say thank you very much. I love you, sir. So I don't have any goals or aspirations beyond that.
And then
there is no scenario in which I would give up my dignity, my livelihood, my fucking manhood to degrade myself for even the whiff of a fart of power to say shit like I love you, sir. What's next? Spank me more, daddy? These people are fucking pathetic. All right, we've gotten to the part of the stream where I'm going to kick back and relax a little bit. Lately, I have really enjoyed these online streams where in the online streams people, online games rather, a compilation of funny gaming moments. This has been huge on my Instagram, so I want to give this a watch.
Coming up. Get the sloop too. We just passed the bar. We just passed the bar. Hey, we just passed the bar. We just passed the bar.
We just passed by.
Brother, we just passing by.
Oh my God.
Ooh, God.
Okay, drop the gun.
Oh shit. Actual LAPD.
Do not fucking move.
It says it after.
Impossible! Don't waste my time.
Whoa. Okay, so if you ever played this game, that shit is incredibly hard to do. I played this game quite a bit, and this is no joke. Legit Matrix shit.
My nigga finna get flipped. Bro, chill out. I'm not finna get flipped. I'm not finna.
Oh, shit! Ah! Gotta love gang leaders. No, fuck you! I would do this! Fuck you! I would do this! Fuck you, Italian motherfucker! No, don't do this! No, don't! Okay, I think the Sea of Thieves one and the baby getting shot are the funniest ones. The Matrix one, the Chivalry one, is just legit skill. I mean, just aura farming skill. Plus 10,000 aura skill. That's fucking amazing. That is impressive.